So, into the Britannia. The men's 4.
Men's Club Cox 4s. You've got Sport Imperial on the left there on the Bark station, and we have Royal Chester on the right on the Buckinghamshire station. A good start from Imperial, from Sport Imperial already, actually. So Sport Imperial is obviously the open club and alumni side of the Imperial College Club. And looks like a slight early lead for Sport Imperial.
Top athletes from Royal Chester Rowing Club, but they're going to need to prove that particular form.
That's still very close though, bow ball to bow ball in this case. It's an interesting choice of leg wear from the bow man.
Yeah, Rupert Wilshire, who was competing in the Thames 4 years ago, so obviously very much in the Henley spirit. Still just about level, but you just get the impression this is where Sport Imperial might be trying to wind it up.
So yes, in these coxed boats, this coxed 4, obviously you've got the coxswain sitting at the front there, as you can see on this shot, with a white cap steering the boat. So we're not going to have so much of the issues we've had with the other types of crews that don't have the coxes in. But as you can see, these boats have a lot more momentum to build into them. You know, you've got that extra weight in the boat, and obviously they're just trying to find a way of really getting up to top speed and then finding the best way to keep spinning it and tapping it along.
Chester crew were initially in the 8, but they've made the switch to this Cox 4. They made the A final of the Open 8s at the Metropolitan Regatta, then switched to the 4. But they haven't actually raced competitively since they came together, and that can be quite a challenge, I think, to go into a race like this against a crew which is packed full of a number of Princeton University students. They'll be good. That's
true, yeah. I mean, this Sport Imperial crew has been formed quite late. Obviously, is it James Goebel and Cam Kerr, both from Princeton, and Fred Vestervel, who's recently graduated from Princeton. So it's a late forming crew. So you know, it's not all plain sailing, even though they have got the talent.
It is the club's first crew. Can they maintain the honour then for Royal Chester here at the Henley Royal Regatta 2016? They are in touch, but it needs to be more than that.
It looks like they're just taking their rate up just to try and sustain that sort of that connection to the Sport Imperial boat. And that's the right thing to do. You really need to do that. You can't give them too much, anything more than sort of a length of clear water, and the show can be over.
Yes, you can have a race plan, but if that changes, you've got to have the flexibility and the determination to make the change and try something different, even if it's going to hurt. But mostly it always does hurt, doesn't it?
Oh, I think it always has to hurt, doesn't it? That's a big part of the sport, isn't it? Taking the pain. So interesting in the Sport Imperial boat, we've got Adam Seward in there in the 2C. Actually, he's a McLaren engineer. So obviously he's probably been using his expertise to refine the rig on the crew and all that sort of stuff, get them prepped up.
Well, he's doing the job at the moment, the 4 of them. Also got the former junior world medalist Fred Weistervel there, and the under-23 international James Goebel. And Royal Chester, for all their best efforts, are still a length down.
They're hanging in there well, though, aren't they? I mean, that's just off the edge of a length. These guys, obviously from the D up near Liverpool, training hard for this, so it's good to see them really fighting all the way. Just gone over halfway, haven't we? So it's not too far away. They still can if they keep doing what they're doing there and just hang in and keep it lively. Don't let this heavier boat with the, you know, slow it down and sort of get ploddy. As long as they can keep it tapping along, I think they're going to be in for a good shout.
Jamie Layton, the coach at Royal Chester.
And David Loveday, obviously the coach at Sport Imperial, actually.
A little bit of a look there, slightly anxious from the Sport Imperial bowman James Goebel, slightly just keeping an eye on them, needing to respond at any moment. As we look upstream, you can see how the wind is still causing the headwind is there. In fact, the flags around us at the finish are starting to stand straight out now. The breeze has picked up in the early evening.
It's got that rough texture to the water, isn't it? As you can see down the course, you can see it's definitely just got that little bit of popple on the top. Not bothering these crews though. Sport Imperial training on the Tideway and Royal Chester rowing on the D. You know, they're used to sort of tricky water, you would expect.
The shouts from the enclosures, but whatever hopes Royal Chester had, they were holding on. They've just lost touch, and Sport Imperial have moved a length and a half clear, it would seem. They are now driving towards the finish, and for Chester it's second, unless they really have something very special. Sport Imperial have managed this perfectly.
Just losing their cohesiveness on the sort of left-hand side of the screen now. Royal Chester, you can just see the blade works beginning to break up a little bit, which shows they're redlining it, or they've been redlining it quite a long way down the course. Conversely, on the right-hand side, Sport Imperial now, you can see they've really got it quite under control, and it looks quite relaxed really on the other crew there.
Markedly different, I think. So they progress, and Royal Chester will be going home. Boat racks cleared, and back up north from the Thames to the D. But Sport Imperial from the Tideway will row another day. Just the last 10 strokes to the line. The brightly covered leggings of Rupert Wilshire have come to nothing, and they've kept him warm. But Sport Imperial are going to win this heat. That winning feeling always looks and feels so good, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're enjoying that, aren't they? It's good.